welcome to a DC Universe online podcast, bringing you news and weekly entertainment for the DCUO People's Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another exciting episode of the People's Podcast. Not that other People's Podcast, the one they say is the real one, but the actual real People's Podcast. I am, of course, Super Patriot and all that, sitting here and all that. Orbit is not with us this week because he's a lame-o. He's getting too big for us, I guess, and all that. All those subscribers he's got is going to his head, I think. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, he's not with us this week. But we still have here with us today good buddy God's Disciple.
Hey, how's it going?
And sitting there, not too far away from him, is our good little buddy
John Cena. Din, 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 din. Oh my God, he played it, man. That was not acted or something.
You totally ruined it.
Man. I didn't expect
you totally ruined it, man. I had it all fucking queued up for you and everything, man.
Man.
I had it all queued up for you and everything. I was just like, I'm just gonna blare this one when I go to introduce Balkan.
Oh man.
Ruined it, Balkan. Way to go. Way to go.
I had also something in plan, and you had something in plan, and at the end we fucked each other up. Never mind, guys. My name is Balkan, OG Gadget King, God, how you want to call me. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the People's Podcast. Episode 37 continues, Patriot.
Intro after an intro. God love it.
So how's everybody's week been?
Fine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Great
yeah.
news. Fantastic news. Great news. Happy days.
You lost your virginity.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I'm feeling fantastic. How was your week, Patriot?
My week was good. I had a pretty good Friday. My voice was about shot by the end of Friday, my evening Friday, because I did not one but two podcasts back to back Friday. So by the time I got done with both of those, my voice was about shot. So yeah, but and so then of course, Monday I had a very good day. Monday was very relaxing. It was a very relaxing day for me. I got rid of a lot of stress on Monday.
Back in the YouTube game now, aren't you? The uploads?
A bit. Yeah, I'm not diving headfirst into it and all that as hard as I was, but I'm taking it. I'm pacing myself. So
you had your stress release upload.
Yeah, that was a year in the making.
It was very good though. It was very, very good. But then your second video was a stress release video, but for a different reason. No, not because of the content.
That was a pure adrenaline rush.
But no. I'm not saying because of the content, but because of the thumbnail. That was another kind of stress relief, if you know what I mean.
I've used that picture before.
You dare.
I've used that picture before.
If anyone doesn't know what I mean, go over to Patriot's channel and check out the boobs on Supergirl.
I've got lots of thumbnails made by that guy, to be honest with you.
Boobs.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a super, super sexy, very sexy PvP update.
Yeah, it was good. It is awesome. I love the way as well, like, obviously Orbit's not here, but all of us just banged out a video about it straight away. You could just tell how excited everybody was about it.
Yeah, well, okay, see, now, here's the thing, though. It's like, I knew about that shit Friday.
Did you? And you didn't tell us? You didn't tell us, your friends?
I couldn't tell you guys. I can't tell you guys that kind of stuff.
That's because your video will be up the next day.
Trust me. I mean, if I could tell people, anybody about the stuff that I end up getting told ahead of time or given a heads up on.
Tell this someone you can trust us. I was thinking we are friends. You see that, God? He don't trust us, and he's with us on the podcast. Do you see that, guys, in the chat? Wow, Patriot have news about the game. A lot of people don't know, and he's not telling them us. Not even his close friends here in the podcast. Wow. Thank you.
That's why Orbit's not here. He's just completely disgusted with Patriot. Completely disgusted that he couldn't even bring himself to come today.
Orbit's not here because he couldn't get out of the closet.
Oh. You can't fire shots at the guy on his own Twitch when he's not here.
Yes, I can. You know why? Because he's not here.
He's going to watch this back and be thinking like, oh, I wonder what they spoke about. And then his face is going to drop.
30 minutes, nothing but freaking roasting Orbit. This is what happens when you don't show up, Orbit.
This is it. You've got to learn. Learn Orbit.
But no, I mean, I knew there was something in the works on Friday, but I couldn't talk about it. And then, we found out earlier this week that they were going to be posting the update changes and everything. What exactly they were going to be putting up, though, I had no idea. This was the first step, though. This is the first few things that are coming, all that. I'm really excited for it. I hope everybody else out there is excited for it.
What was your face like when you found out the news? Were you like, yes? It was like, oh, yeah.
I'm like, here's the thing that I'm like, I'm at my, I'm at my limit of patience for waiting for a PvP update, like most everybody else is.
Yeah.
So I have to like measure myself whenever something comes up. To start talking about PvP, I have to like make sure that I'm throttling myself back because there's so much I want to say, and so much that I know that I'd like to see come back for arenas, or things add for arenas, things that I know other people, would like to see come back or added for arenas. And when I'm voicing that, I have to make sure that I'm throttle myself back because I'm not so much dickish, but pig-headed.
Yeah,
pig-headed about it.
Sometimes it's hard not to cross the line, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. It's very hard not to cross the line. I mean, that's what like I understand. Where a lot of guys who do cross the line, I understand where those emotions are coming from.
Yeah,
I really do. But it's just not healthy.
It's like when it gets to the point all you can hear or you can imagine people are like spamming on the keyboard their rage.
There's been moments, I won't lie, there's been moments and all that when I've been like dealing with people where I've like, picked up a pillow, screamed into it, smacked my son in the head with it.
What?
Whoa.
Daddy of the year.
Daddy of the year.
But yeah, so I mean, he's good. He's good. He doesn't watch Walking Dead with me anymore because I used to smack him upside the head whenever Carl did something. So yeah, I mean, I know how hard it is for folks and everything, and every once in a while, you just gotta like grab a pillow, scream into it, hit your kid upside the head with it, the pillow. They'll be fine.
So,
and then sit down and say what you got to say.
But yeah, awesome news, isn't it? It is absolutely fucking fantastic, really. Pardon my French, but it is fucking fantastic. It's what everyone's been wanting for, and I don't know. I said it in podcasts in the past. Like, I knew that they couldn't have just been as quiet as they were about everything without having something planned, and it's what everybody's been calling out for, and we're going to get what we've been asking. But I think the main thing to remember is like they put it pretty plainly in the postal maps did, is that there's going to bound to be more bugs in there. Let's be honest, there is going to be.
Well, yeah, I mean it's on test, and it's and that's so anybody who finds a bug on test, don't be like, oh my god, you broke this. Look at how this is doing. Thanks for finding that out, because that's if that's not the way it's supposed to be. Thanks for finding that out, but don't be like, "Oh, you broke it." Well, okay, they're going to fix it. That's why it's on test.
Yeah.
Go in the forums, report, because they're gonna add more, change a lot more, guys. This is really important, guys. Don't be lazy about the forums, because if you don't tell the devs, they don't know maybe what's the mistake, because there are so many powers, so many mechanics, so many stuff that maybe needs to be told, everything. I mean, let's say, for example, I mean, I was playing today on the test server, did some nice fights. From 30 fights in the lab battles, I lost maybe just one with gadgets. Against fire guys, I was quite happy. They also kind of nerfed, so they're not OP, so it's balanced. They can beat you, that is true, but it's not more that OP with the self-healing. But maybe they change it, or I was just fighting a shit fire tank, so I'm not that sure, to be honest.
How were you finding the match length, like the fight length? Was it a lot more sort of steady? Was it the sort of length that you'd expect it to be, or
well, the fights in the lab battles, if you mean how long and everything?
Yeah, before someone would die.
I mean, now the fights are much longer. It's much more enjoyable, and it's not like, oh, you get one time block broken, it's over, you're deaf. So you can save your ass 1 or 2 times. The matches are. It's not exactly how it was in the past, but it gets slowly kind of back to it, like old school PvP. You know, you can still do Weapon Master, you can still do Advanced Mechanic, but it's not hitting as hard as it used to is right now on live, which is perfect in my opinion. So I have a lot of fun. Lab battle fights and everything is, yeah, more interesting. You fight each other, and I really like it, you know. I mean, they're of course working more around it, you know, guys. Also, if you have suggestions, put it on the forums, and if enough people are up for it, maybe they add it too. I mean, I still wait for the rock, paper and scissor thing, yeah, the RPS system, if they want to bring it back. Maybe they're gonna do it, maybe not, we will see. But right now it's at the moment not on the test server, but I hope enough people will maybe fight for it, go for it, because it will even make them more fun, let's say, when you do 4s and 5s, because at the moment I enjoy 1v1s, but I haven't also tried yet on the test server 4s, 5s, because there are not actually that many people as well, to be honest, to test that.
Yeah, I think first of all, let's get this all sorted with like the big bang hits, the one shots. Let's get rid of them first of all, and then let's think about other things. Let's then think about like the rock, paper, scissors. But yeah, actually, Zed Killer Gorilla actually just asked a question I was going to ask you. What sort of damage were you hitting with your weapon?
When I tried Smoke Bomb, I actually hit like 5k, 7k, and you see that didn't take a lot health. It takes, let's say, it can take up to 25-30% if you have really lucky crit. And the luckiest, biggest crit, and this happened just once in all those fights, was maybe what? 11-12k maybe, something, and that's it. And that was really a big lucky crit, so that was back then also the same thing. I just say it feels really more balanced in my opinion, and yeah, of course they're gonna work more and more. Of course some stuff is OP. I was fighting a sorcery DPS, and man, this pet does so much damage on me. I was like, what the fuck, you know, this.
I know, dude.
But they're gonna work on it, of course. If you report that, they're gonna work on it and nerf that as well, so they will adjust everything. So don't get quick scared. Everything is gonna slowly
fall into place.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, pet DPS is an issue in PvE and PvP.
Yeah,
you know, in my opinion, it's like, you know, I mean, I freaking, you know, going to you know, some PvP, you know, today, and you know, sorcery guys, you know, it's like there's still like half health left on, you know, and you know, ads were fighting, and all of a sudden, you know, the fury hits them once and they're gone, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, sorcery and earth in PvE.
Sorcery and earth are huge.
Oh, they're just too much damage, because you've just got the pet doing all the damage whilst you're doing your weapon mastery, and you're like, it's easy DPSing, and you're just getting the best of both worlds, aren't you? So yeah, that will be a good thing to be.
Yeah, I actually had a buddy of mine tell me he switched one of his tunes of sorcery and all that, and he didn't like it. He switched it back, and I was like, why didn't you like it? He was like, he's a man, the power cost just way too high. And I'm like, were you just like, were you, you know, trying to do damage yourself, or were you, you know, using your pet? He's like, man, I was trying to do damage myself. I was like, dude, all you gotta do is just funnel funnel power to Fury, dude, and you're fine.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like you're gonna be it's like,
easy DPSing. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not even DPSing. Your pet's DPSing. You're basically It's like you're the sidekick to Fury.
Your pet's troller.
Personal troller for your
The
pet.
pet is give me power, bitch.
Yeah, I need more mana. You didn't experience it, Patriot, but on the EU server, all you have to do is to get into like a raid with a Spanish guy, and all you hear is mana.
Use Coca-Cola, super
Use-
carga.
Mana. Oh,
I'm like, dude,
Spanish
wrong
brothers
game,
and
wrong
Spanish.
game, you know.
Oh, so yeah, awesome stuff. PvP. Everyone's put videos out about it. Check them out, guys. You're going to be happy with it, but be patient with it at the same time.
Yeah, it's not gonna drop this year anymore. 2016, maybe January the end, February, who knows? Depends.
Yeah.
This is a lot of work they have to do. A real big, a lot of work, and I'm happy that they actually do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait till next year, guys. I'm afraid it's a long wait, but next year it is.
Okay, so still PvP or next subject?
Go next subject. What about episode number 20?
Let's talk about. I mean,
Uh-uh.
not the. Let's talk about. I mean, what would you guys like to see next? So,
For what?
I mean, obviously, this is going to be something they're going to be tweaking for a while, and we're not going to see it on live for a while. But
a new PvP
what would
season.
you guys like to be the next? What would you guys like to be the next thing
A
that they
new
work
PvP
on?
season, for example. New
But
gear
okay, specifics before gear.
before
Before
gear.
gear.
You mean PvP at all? In PvP?
Yeah, PvP
Yeah,
arenas,
RPS system I would like to see. I would like to see the movement debuffs back. I miss this shit, man.
Do you? I don't.
I love that.
I do. Those things are what the movement debuffs were. What balanced 1v1s and 2v2s.
I don't know. I think I'm a bit biased because obviously I'm half troll, half DPS. So I was a bit like, oh, you're taking my benefit away from me, sort of thing. But I don't know. I never really used the movement debuffs.
I used those things like there was no tomorrow for 1v1s.
Oh, of course you would.
I
yeah.
used them
Never,
just against
never
tanks.
used. I never used them in fours, or bigger than that, anything like that, or in scrimmages, or whenever we would sync up queues or anything. I never used them in that, but in ones and twos, man, I use them all the time. Simply because you get tired of running into freaking ice tanks and fire tanks in lair battles.
Yeah.
Or bat cave and all that after a while, and because it takes forever to freaking burn them down, and that's if you can, because with the simple fact, the fire, especially now, fire tanks would be are ridiculous with how much health they can get back and everything, even with the way that they're kind of clamped. All that, but ice tanks back in the day when they had that regenerative shield mod from the tactical mods,
Yeah.
they were the same way. So same thing with Earth. It's just I used them all the time, and it used to crack me up because I'd hit a freaking ice tank with swoop, and completely take away their shield and their toughness buff, and just watch them melt.
Yeah.
It's like,
I do remember before the fire tank, it was the ice tank that people used to hate. And there's no shield.
Not to stir up any shit, but when American Hero was doing 1v1s with ice, he couldn't beat me. Because I was constantly hitting him with swoop. I didn't care if he was in DPS stance or not. Because he hit that winter ward, have that shield. No, you don't. It's like he hit reflect thinking he was going to get away with it. Nope, no more. I was like, I swooped right through that reflect.
Yeah, the reason why I liked also movement debuffs is, for example, you remember back then, even if you were a gadget guy against a tank guy, control or DPS, you get always debuff, and you have actually no chance against a fire guy. even with the movement debuff, it was a struggle to beat them. I mean, they can bring something out like that. For example, I mean, if you, let's say the RPS system, they can bring that out, let's say for Fire, Troll, and Healer, of course, but just worked around them, not if you're maybe in DPS, or I don't know if that will be okay or fucked up. We need to test and see how it actually is. And if you use a movement debuff, you don't, I mean, actually it shouldn't be needed then. It is just
it definitely does bring a level playing field to certain fights, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, not in 4s and 5s. Let's say movement debuffs don't work in 4s, 5s, but it could work in 1s or 2s. For example.
4s and 5s, it wasn't even optimal to use movement debuffs in there because in 4s and 5s, you've got players of every role in there. Yeah. So you've got the full RPS system working, you know, the way it's supposed to in 4s and 5s. Not to mention the fact that in 4s and 5s, that's a lot more chaotic. Not so much chaotic, but it's a lot more intensive, you know, fighting arena that you're in because you have to work with other people. So, you know, having that in there, you need everything that's essential to your loadout in there. And taking something out to put, you know, freaking forward flip or whatever, you know, for aggro or something like that, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna help you out. But when you're like a Fire DPS, you know, queuing into 1s or 2s match and all that, and you've got a source healer over there that, you know, is benefiting from not just, you know, the Watcher, but his own heals as well as his partner and all that. If you can hit them with, you know, like with Flight, if you can hit them with a downdraft that, you know, removes their shields and debuffs their healing out and all that, that's going to be beneficial to you and your partner, or you by yourself if you're in a 1v1. I mean, because even in a 1v1 and even by using the movement mode debuffs on them, they still had the damage buff.
Yeah, and think
that they were doing against you.
Back in those days when movement mode debuffs were like a big thing, we didn't have armories then. So if you're a full-on 1v1 player, you could set up your armories to have those debuffs into just for certain different fights for certain different people you're going to come against. So it could be a bit saucy with it, but yeah, I remember especially on the EUPS server, 4s and 5s, like there was just a community mutual agreement that movement mode debuffs would not feature in any sort of scrims or any sort of arranged matches, and if they were there, then people would just be outed in PvP chat. You would never hear the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I got it all the time. I got it all the time from, you know, like especially, you know, tanks and everything. You know, constants. Oh, you're using a movement mode debuff. You noob and all that. Yeah. And I'd like tell him, I'd be like sitting there looking at it, I was like, why am I a noob for taking away the advantage you've got over me?
Yeah, it's smart play, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Smart play.
I was like, you're using a crutch. You're using a crutch. Don't get pissed off at me that you picked a fight with me, and the first thing I did was kick the crutch out from underneath you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's there to be used.
DPS versus DPS, and then you have a fair fight, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, the thing is as well, is with queues as well, it makes me laugh when people say, oh, you did this in a queue, and it's like, a queue is a queue. That's just like all fair game. But like, if you're going into a scrim and you've got a mutual agreement, then fair enough. But like, I love going into queues and people are like, oh, you did this, you did that, and it's like, it's a queue. Deal with it. I'm getting marks, especially when like the new PvP gear comes out. I will be as dirty as I possibly can. I'll do everything as I can to get to those points. And everyone's like, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, fuck you. I'm getting my marks. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, you still get that crap today too. Even so, it's like, you know, I posted a video a few months back. I mean, you know, catching up with this one guy I was always talking smack in versus chat at me. You know, and we'd run into each other in arenas. You know, I think like once or twice. You know, and he had beaten me and all that, but I, you know, ran into him in open world a couple of times and beaten him. But you know how it goes when you're in open world, right? You run into somebody, you fight, you beat him. All right, he comes back, you beat him again, he comes back, he beats you, then he starts talking shit. Yeah. It's like, you haven't said nothing. You haven't said anything. you know,
Beast
at him yet. But then, he comes back, oh yeah, take that, SP. And I'm like, dude, I was like, I've got it on tape. I've got it recorded, me smacking you twice before this. And I'm like, and now you're going to talk shit off of one win? I'm still one up on you.
And that one win will be on YouTube. Super Patriot exposed. Woo!
Yeah. It's like that one that video Smile did on Hero.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, this is the back of Hero guy. He's a scrub. He's a
like
noob.
20 for 1 or something like that.
He's a scrub. He's a noob and everything. Just that one fight that he beat him and all that. And then Hero showed me the actual video or uploaded on his channel. And there's Hero just beating him like 12 times.
It's funny, isn't it? YouTube is a funny world that you can make people see what you want them to see. And just sort of dust what you don't want under the carpet very quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sony Vegas Pro.
Dude, that was, I mean, that kind of crap, though, is why I started posting videos up on my YouTube channel. That's why I started my YouTube channel, was because of all the smack talking going on. It's like, oh, you know, everybody, at the beginning, when the game first launched, everybody was like, saying, oh, yeah, we smacked, those guys suck. We beat them every time we run into them. No matter who it is in our league runs into them in arenas and all that, we beat them. And I'm like, really? And I had already started recording some matches because, I was thinking about uploading them, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. And one of my league mates, told me, he's like, man, these guys are always running their mouths and everything. They got these videos up on YouTube. They're saying that they always beat us no matter what. I was like, dude, we kick the crap out of those guys whenever we run into them. He's like, yeah, I know, man, but we ain't got no way to prove it. I was like, well, actually. And he was like, what? You got, oh my God, you got to upload that shit. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right.
Back in the day as well, like PS3 days when you didn't have the PS record, it was just whoever had like a capture card, you had them in your team for when you were singling someone. Yeah. They're gonna, and then like you'd come against like a team who you knew someone had a record, and you're like, shit, gotta fucking win this one.
You know what's funny about those days too, though, man? Is like you could tell who was on the team just because they had a freaking capture card.
Yeah, definitely.
You could tell because like you would run into them and all that, and they'd be like one short of somebody. You could run in that same group. You'd be one short of somebody, but they'd have that guy with the capture card in that group, and you would just like demolish them. Yeah.
But nowadays with the fucking PS4, you can get uploaded left, right, and center, and it's just like before, like back in the day, you could go into a queue, and then you'd be like, oh, I got fucking pasted there, and you'd be like, it doesn't matter, nobody will ever know about it. Now you go into a game, you get 1,000 owed, you're like, oh shit. You start writing your apology speech on Twitter. With my subscribers, I do apologize for what you were about to say. I haven't been feeling good this week. I've had stuff on my plate.
I mean, well, before the PS4 came out, there was more and more people were starting to record, and people were doing those, the old school Nimbus Yosh style. They were recording shit with their cell phones and then posting it up, I was like, it got to the point where it's like, there's so many people that would be like, oh, look at this, I got this, Super Patriot in a 1v1, or something like that, or, look, Super Patriot was in a pug group and we beat his entire team, of pugs, as I'd be in there, like, with everybody was in, like, Archangel, gear and shit, I was like, and they'd be like, they were like, look, we beat them, and like that. And it got to the point, I started uploading my losses. If they were good matches, I would upload them.
No, very noble guy.
Whether I won or not. Simply because I was like, everybody loses in this game, dude. I mean, there ain't nobody unbeatable. I don't care who you are or how relevant you may think you are. Everybody.
Can you remember when Smile first started uploading, and his capture card was like the worst thing known to mankind? everybody used to say to him and call him out in PvP chat saying, "Are you recording on your baked potato again?" Because it was just like,
yeah. What was it? Was it the SCART thingy? What was he recording with the red, yellow, and white thingy with the sockets, the three things, like used on your Super Nintendo? I don't know.
But it was basically like if you were to be looking at your TV. You just put your hand in a big dollop of Vaseline and just smear it across your screen. That was like it's recorded. And then you'd be watching it thinking, yeah, this is a good game if I was visually impaired. Yeah, I remember as well, there used to be a guy on the EU server that used to set up like a camcorder in front of his TV and record it that way. What? It's like that. I just buy a capture card, man.
I mean,
like,
dude, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Nimbus. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Nimbus. But put all that aside and just go back and watch some of his old DC videos that he used to do with his cell phone. I mean, he used to crack me up. It was like, you know, he'd be like a pre-made group with his league, and they'd run into a bunch of
was he playing with one hand or tell his girl, hey, hold my phone?
So look, I'm beating him one hand, and he hold the controller up in front of the phone.
I remember. You know,
go on.
Sorry, but I remember when I was recording before I got a capture card, I was also recording with my phone, but I'm glad the videos don't exist anymore. It was actually hilarious. You know what I did in front of my TV?
What?
I get two chairs, put it over another, and then I get a pallet, put my mobile there, some Lego stones to adjust it so it will fall and something, and then at the end just press record. See, everything nice, and yeah, it was funny, man.
See, I went for the PVR to start with. I can never pronounce it. Is it Hopage or Hopag or something like that?
Yes, yeah.
And that's what Orbit used to use as well. And now I use the Elgato. So like the Elgato is awesome. Like I never had any problems with it. But with that recorder I had to start with, like I could go into like a 15-minute match and it would just freeze halfway through. And it would just be like, I'd be playing a game and I'm thinking, oh, I'm playing fucking sick here. And then I'd look over at my recorder and it froze 4 minutes ago and I'd be like, oh, you fucker. You fucker. So I've been uploading like one game every like week for that my fucking recorder didn't freeze.
Yeah, my HD PVR, I still actually use it. It works kind of fine, perfect for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy with it. But yeah, there are different versions. The one was with component sockets. I have that one with HDMI socket, which works perfect. I just need to put a HDMI splitter on it so it records the PS4 because at the beginning it made some struggles.
Yeah. Have you guys ever like looked back at one of your first videos and just thought, oh
yeah, I like my old PvP matches with my photon blast, man. Oh man, Empower channeling,
I've like watched one of my old videos back before and thought, who the fuck watched this shit? Like, and like I'll like listen to like one of my first commentaries and I'll be like, hi guys, God Disciple here, coming here today with a new video. I was thinking, fucking hell, mate, are you going to slit your wrists or what?
Oh, my first commentary. Hello, guys, this is Smile before, but no, I'm joking. Do you remember that?
Oh, when banter. The banter.
That was, yeah, when I showed my layer.
Oh,
it was fun. Funny. It was fun, man. Good old times, man. But that was the time where DC made actually, back then, of course, more fun than it is today. It still makes fun, but it's not more addicting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your English just come on so much better as well.
Oh yeah, so much better, dude.
Yeah, I'm hanging just with you guys out, so it must get better after a while. I mean, I'm not going to school anymore. I'm learning from TV shows and gaming and stuff. I mean, if I look 5 years back and hear me now talking English, I'm thinking, oh man, Balkan is American or something. You know?
This town ain't big enough for the both of us. It's
I'm
like there's a guy in like one of my first leagues who was like full on Greek, and he did not speak a word of English until he literally just sat down and listened to what we would say and learned from it, and now he speaks absolutely fluent English from it. It's fucking crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, anyway, that's enough about our YouTube life. we've actually got DC stuff to talk about today.
Episode 20 now. Let's go.
Let's go. So we were all there in the stream, even Orbit. So Orbit's got the chance to watch the stream, but hadn't got the chance to join us.
Funny, isn't it?
What do you think about that, eh?
Weird how that works out. It's easier to stream inside the closet.
Yeah, I'll watch their stream, get a little bit of footage from my video later on. But
no,
for
what's funny, he is in the stream when I check the viewer list. He's in the stream.
What, in here?
Yeah, but he's not talking. I mean, it says moderators: Balkan Let's Play, Gods, Moobot, Orbit, and the Daddy's House.
Look, he's in here right now.
Yeah.
Orbit is a spy, you know. So.
But anyway, episode 20.
Yep, let's go.
What do we think?
Have you seen everyone first in the stream? Who watches the stream? It was on DC Universe Online's official Twitch channel. It was kind of fun. I like the new stuff they showed, like some cool styles. I mean, you was really happy when you saw the halo, you know. You was like, oh, God's Disciple, nice.
Did you see in the chat? Everyone's like,
yeah, I saw
God's
it.
Disciple will like that. GD will like that. I was like, yeah, everyone knows the halo is me. But anyway, Patriot, roll us through what is coming. You're the man with the plan.
Yeah.
What's coming?
The man with the plan. I have no freaking control over what's being put out. But anyways, we are getting another Gotham Wasteland style duo. I believe they said this is going to be the last of the Trigon, so this is going to wrap it up.
Finally.
And now we're going to go on to more Lantern stuff. Yay! No, I'm joking. Hopefully not. Probably
They
not.
going in there against see who is it? Jared and
Jacob.
Yeah, Jared and Jacob. They are trying to figure out what exactly, they're going to try and, take their dad's spot since, you put him back in prison in unholy matrimony there.
I'm going to put you on the spot. What's it called? What's the duo called? Quick, now.
Huh?
What's the duo called? Name it. Quick.
Something Wastelands. I can't remember.
Wasteland Wonderland.
There you go, Wastelands Wonderland. See? Why ain't you talk about this then, smarty pants? Jesus.
You've explained it better. That's all I know about it, mate. That's how I know the name. That's it.
So that we got that duo there, and then of course, the big thing that everybody was excited about, which it was kind of funny how the loading screen ruined the surprise for them during the stream. But yeah, we're going into the Blackest Night raid. It's actually an 8-man operation.
And his name is John Cena. That's the new loading screen. Just comes on with John Cena.
Who played that?
That was you.
That was you.
No, it was not me. What the?
That was you. Don't play.
This video that gets uploaded on YouTube is going to get copyright strikes all over it.
Well,
but yeah, Blackest Night. Blackest Night looks sick.
Blackest Night and all that. You're gonna go in there. They switch the lights out in Metropolis.
Yeah.
For this.
I like that, man.
It was just a mini instance area, I believe, though, because everything was completely different. But going in there fighting the Black Lanterns, and you're going to have the entire spectrum on your side.
Oh, when I seen that, I was like, sick.
I know, dude. That was so epic. I've seen some other pictures too. Well, when they went inside the corruption dome there, you get to see the champions of every corps. They're
all lined up, aren't they? And there's just.
I was like, oh. This is the kind of stuff you get excited for. This is like Civil War and Batman versus Superman trailer.
But just think as well, obviously when we've seen it on the live stream, it's just obviously they're one character. You're gonna have your squad of 8 people in there, plus all the champions behind you. That is gonna be crazy. Yeah. It's gonna be 16 dudes just smashing on a massive Necron. Oh my god.
I don't think we're gonna be a 16-on-1, to be honest. That would be too nice. I can't imagine that.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for me.
I played DC for a long time, like you guys, and you know how it always feels. You're like, oh, this is gonna be like that. Ah, shit, it changes every time you have maybe 1 or 2 champions, and that's it.
Stop killing the buzz. You're
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But it
But
would be
no,
cool,
that's
you know, I mean, all 8 people. Okay, I don't think 8 champions.
No,
I
there
mean,
were obviously there were.
Well, the White Lantern, there is no White Lantern. But the funny thing is, there was a White Lantern base emblem, so they should at least show something at least about the White Lanterns. Maybe if you beat the boss, I don't know.
Well, if you guys were paying attention when they first went into the dome area there, and they approached Necron with Black Hand standing right next to him. Black Hand was talking about, he's like, it doesn't matter how much white mist you've collected, it won't phase, my master.
Yeah.
So, apparently we're going around, we're collecting up some White Lantern stuff. I don't know if White Lanterns are showing up, would be awesome, and I think it would be kind of, like one of those things where if they don't, it would be like, no, you ruined it, type things. But yeah, it would be awesome if we got to see some White Lanterns show up in there. Or even better, if like we were temporarily transformed into White Lanterns because we collected all that mist. Maybe we don't. We don't have like White Lantern powers, but we were temporarily infused with the White Lantern mist.
Yeah, well, it's like I've completely forgotten the name of that duo when you get the when you get infused by the Green Lantern thing. What's
Spark.
It called?
Yeah, when we get the spark.
Something like that. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. When it just turns your weapon into like a White Lantern weapon. Even that would be just sick enough on its own. But yeah, it looked pretty awesome. Did they say there was going to be an elite version or not?
No elite.
There's not. There's not an elite version of this raid.
I'm actually happy, I mean, honestly, what is coming next? Weapons, rings, necklace, and trinkets. And there never were elite versions of that, so I don't see any sense to make elite version of it.
Oh my god, I have been waiting so long for this weapon box.
Yeah.
So long.
But
I wanted a new weapon.
They changed it. They're gonna make a weapon, then you can decide which weapons you want to get, and then decide which role, right? Didn't they want to make something like that for weapons?
Yeah, they did that with the Desecrated Cathedral alert.
Yeah. So like instead of, because think how like the amount of like the chance you actually had to get the weapon that you wanted was just obviously dramatically reduced because of the amount of weapons that were in the cycle. So with this one box that comes out, you can just pick whatever the hell weapon that you want.
Yep.
That is going to be just sweet. I'm just going to go straight for the rifle, the clip-in rifle, and then that'll be it. I'll be sorted.
I was looking at my tank gear the other day. I was looking over it. What pieces I needed to get, what vendor stuff I had that I needed to replace, with drops and everything from the new content. And I go up and I look at my weapon. And I had not realized it until just the other day. I've been running around with this 121 shield for like the longest time, and I'm like, oh my god. Really?
Yeah, your weapon CR is so low, isn't it? Just like in the top CR for a weapon at the moment, 123 or something.
Yeah, it's 123. So it's not that bad, but I was still like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, I've gotten a couple of weapon boxes, since, and I just hadn't had a chance. It never even occurred to me that I hadn't replaced my tank weapon yet.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it.
I would like the weapon at the start of the sort of rotation of gear. I reckon the weapon's the nicest bit to get for me.
Martial arts.
What, do you even use martial arts in PvE?
I mean, I don't use any weapon actually in PvE, but I want just martial arts equipped,
Yeah. So what, you would still pick that even without using your weapon?
Yeah, because martial arts is the weapon I started the game, and I'm also... I mean, what should I use? Dual wield? I don't use it. I am full might spec. There is no reason to pick a good weapon.
But at the same time, though, I mean, there's a couple of weapons I mainly go after.
Yeah.
So that even if like with atomic, and fire and all that, there's like really no point in using any weapon attacks with either of those powers if you're DPSing.
Yeah.
But the fact that I just, I started the game with brawling, so I've always got to get brawlers. I love the shield, so I'm always getting a shield.
That's your thing,
and
isn't it?
yeah, and with DPSing, sometimes depending on what they end up doing with weapon mastery, if weapon mastery gets a nice little buff, I'm always picking up dual wield and hand blasters.
Yeah, same, absolutely same. Yeah, that the throwing the two swords and then going into explosive shot, that's the combo that I used to use all the time.
That's the combo everybody uses.
Yeah, I suppose, especially if you we spoke about it before, Earth and Sorcery. That's the combo that you see people doing, and that's what you're going to see them two powers using. But yeah, you mentioned it, Balkan, about obviously the Halo, and there was also a chest, wasn't there? Was it called Wrath's Conviction?
Yeah, let me put it also in the stream so you can see it and make some screenshots.
I have a question. What were those two actually for? Is that actually the styles for?
I think that are the styles which you get maybe from an investigation and briefing whatsoever, or collection. So I imagine the Halo is maybe from Trigon, the collection, or the briefing.
Yeah.
This is what I think. This is the same what they did with episode 19. They showed the Ra's al Ghul cape, and that was at the end not a drop. It was a collection.
Yeah.
So I think it
Makes
is this.
sense.
We don't know, but makes for me the most sense. Like you said, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sweet. So, Blackest Night, Dark Metropolis. Gonna be interesting.
Yep. And then, of course, they also showed, I don't know if you got a screen cap of it or not, Balkan, the rare chest style that's going to be dropping in there.
I posted it now on the stream. You can see it now.
Yeah, the hollowed out chest of Necron.
Yeah, the Death's West, right?
Yeah, the iconic chest. That is going to be... So if it's an iconic chest, that is going to be on the broker, isn't it?
No, I don't think they make stuff tradable anymore, which is stupid.
I don't know.
In my
I can't remember if they said it was going to be tradable or not. Hold on a second here. I think they may have said it was tradable.
Really? But then it is just a style, not really something that is has stats, right?
No, I'm expecting it to be like the Sinestro hands and like the Brainiac back and like the future Batman head and
But if
Joker
they're gonna
head.
put it, let's say, tradable with CR, and then people be like, oh, I gave it my all, I get my CR push, then.
That's what I mean. That will be if that is a tradable item, that will go for a ton of money on the broker.
50 million.
Yeah, money gone, economy destroyed by the chest. Time for another money glitch.
Maybe it's just the style that is maybe tradable, like the soda cola headpiece. Who knows, man?
It's a very, very nice looking chest, though, isn't it?
Hmm.
I reckon that is going to be so popular on the villain side.
I have a question to you guys. Look, at the beginning of the stream, there was this picture. Is this actually a new UI? Or what is that, actually? Not a new UI, but it looks like a new welcome message. It says welcome. Is it like when you log in and then you see that straight? I don't know.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's self-explanatory exactly what it is. I mean, it shows you right there.
Now you can talk about it.
It says,
It
says welcome up there at the top. It's got your message of the day for from the game itself. Telling you what's going on. What current episode is out and everything. It's got featured events down there letting you know about Legends PvE and it'll have looks like it'll have secret research facility, so that's the seasonal. If there's a survival mode up, that'll pop up. That will show up in there. Friends online will let you know who all your friends that are online right there. If you're loot locked out of anything, like say you log on in the morning or in the afternoon, and you're still locked out of any raids or anything like that, looks like they'll have that info right there. They've got a quick, if you guys look down there at the bottom left, quick access to view the patch notes.
Okay.
So you can actually see what's changes have been made. They got featured in the marketplace area right there, letting everybody know about maybe any sales they got going on, new stuff that's in the marketplace. Looks really cool. And what featured legends they have going on this week. Maybe, which ones, were free that week or like that, or the ones that have been, I'm guessing from the way this looks right here, the featured legends tune is Atrocitus, and the most recent ones that have been added to the marketplace that you can purchase is the Flash and the Supergirl TV series.
Yeah, it's quite a nice little opening.
Yeah, if this helps to, I mean, this looks really cool. My biggest thing with it is I really hope that people take advantage of the view the patch notes thing, because I can't tell you how many times people I'll log on in the game and I'll see people it's like, well, was the game down for like 8 hours? Like, oh my god, well, this damn game's been down all day. I haven't been doing anything.
Why do I pay my sub? Are you going to refund me?
Yeah. Oh, those are the people that crack me up the most.
Oh, the.
It's like, I demand compensation for this extra downtime. Here's a nickel.
Yeah. No. It's funny that those requests do not get answered. It's just like, oh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, that opening message, I think, will help new players out a lot, especially with like the featured content, because we're all experienced. We know exactly where to go. We know what we need to do. We know exactly what's coming new, and we keep up to date with everything. But for the people that aren't quite in the loop, and maybe they're like a couple of tiers behind, they might not be up to date and watching all of the most recent live streams, and they're just sort of like plodding their way through. So for them to find out that way, as soon as they come onto the game, it's gonna help them a million miles. I'm all for helping the new guys, the fresh blood of the community.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
So right, so there we go. That is the two big things, really, isn't it? So PvP and episode 20.
All right. Anything else?
We talked about Balkan's new welcome screen. She was so excited about.
My what?
The welcome screen that you started pestering about at the beginning. I didn't know if I could talk
because
to you
you didn't want to share the information. Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't.
Actually, I believe you even... Listen, I think I even know what is an episode 21 in the game, and you don't even tell us this, This is how much you are informed.
Alright, but here's the thing. Do I dangle it in front of you and tease you with it?
Patriot is the reason why I have
it is enough that you know it and you don't tell us. This is enough.
No. All right, I can understand you guys being a little, frustrated that, I may have information that you don't, all right? But here's the thing. That's you guys just have to deal with that, all right? If that bothers you, you have to deal with it. Now, the one thing I would give you guys a nod on and, agree with you on, being assholish of me, is if I was to sit here and go, I know what's going to happen next.
You never get this la 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 la.
You always do that to Patriot. Don't say you don't.
You always do that. Just
you always like, look, guess what I know.
Guys. On the podcast, he plays nice. Like God says, he plays nice after the podcast. See, bitches, episode 21 is this not telling you. Take this. I'm offline. Skype. See you next week.
Yeah. I know what's happening next. You don't. Ha. Bye, end Skype.
No, I don't do that shit. But I mean, it's like
to the stage where you've got to say, no, I don't do that to everything.
It was really funny for me. It was really funny for me that last week when I was on that other podcast, I was sitting here, and earlier that day is when we found out that they were looking at certain things for the next PvP update. And I was sitting here going, I cannot say anything to these guys about this. The entire time, all 2 hours, I was sitting there talking to those guys. I was looking at that, and I'm like, guys, just it's not, just I understand you're upset. I'm just saying, just be patient. I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure that
I do know when.
I've seen it,
That must have been so hard for you to answer questions. It's like when you know something, and you really just want to be like, shut the fuck up, it's coming tomorrow, and then like you just can't say it.
It is. I mean, it is. And I know how sometimes I know how Spittle and SJ Nerd of Prey feel whenever they're doing the streams or they're talking to people and everything like that. Because I mean, obviously they know what's coming out next year for the next 12 months and shit probably and they can't talk about it, but they would love to be able to sit there and talk about it, get people excited for it and everything, but they can't do it. Me, I get like maybe at most I'll get like a week's heads up, if that, sometimes on occasion on something that's going on, and I'm like super excited. I'm like, oh my god, this is coming to the game and it's going to be awesome.
The question I want to ask you is, are you open to bribes, and if so, how much?
Well, that depends on how much Daybreak would sue me for.
Well, if
What, so it's got to be at least $1 more.
We keep everything secret. We are guys you can trust.
Here's the thing. Everybody out there, all right? Everybody out there, if you are willing to pay my legal fees and my prostitution plus 20%, because I need to make something off of this, I will consider your offers.
I'm just expecting to log on to the
Did you hear that, Daybreak? Give Patriot more money so he shut his mouth.
I'm going to log on to the forum tomorrow, and I'm just going to see opening in the round table CRT. 1 space free. Super Patriot has left the building due to bribery.
Can I ask you a question about the round table?
What's that? No.
It's not a bad question. I ask him, how did you come into the round table? How is it possible to come, or is it like that? How does that work actually out? I'm just interested, curious about it, and I think a lot of people would like to know.
I can't talk about it.
No,
I really can't.
No, not even how you come. No, nothing.
There's a lot of things I wish I could talk about.
Okay. Okay,
everything
understand.
That, went down the last 3 weeks, and I can't. I'm sorry.
But do I have a chance? Okay, can I ask this? Do I have a chance to come in? Straight? No.
No, you got too much double penetration in your history.
Is there an opportunity for an EU roundtable?
Well, I don't know about an EU roundtable. If anything, I think I mean, you guys are,
and if so, it should just be the Balkan.
I will say, EU is represented. That's all I'm going to say.
EU is what?
EU is represented. There are EU members.
Oh.
Actually, the best YouTubers are EU players. Don't forget that.
You guys, I can't talk about this. You got me talking about it. Stop. I'm going to get in trouble.
You should get God's Disciple, Orbit, Balkan at least in the EU roundtable.
You think Orbit's got a chance now?
No.
Really?
No, I don't think you have a chance, But I think me and Gods have. Come on, Gods. Let's help me, man. Come on.
I will only go on it if Natural White can go on it as well. Can you imagine that?
He will be like Maps, something. Yeah, he will be mad, man. He will rant this, man. No.
But yeah, if
Balkan for the round table.
If there's ever an opening, holler at your boy Balkan.
Yeah.
No, so you guys listened to that podcast I was on last week, though?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
I was with you. Support.
I didn't see. I did not have the stream going while they were doing it. I was farming exobits the whole time. So I didn't see that you were in the chat until afterwards, and I watched it on Gavin's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's when I saw you in there, and I was like, oh, Gons was there. I was like,
from what I watched it all. I listened to it all basically, but from what I can take from it is you earned a lot of respect with people that didn't fully understand exactly what you were about and where you were coming from 99% of the time, and I think that was good for you. I think it was good for them as well to get it out their system. And I think you come to a mutual agreement about a lot of things, which was probably good for yours and their relationship.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't go there to try to win them over. I was just really I went there to try to just explain to them, try to give them a better perspective on things other than because I understand how they all felt.
Yeah,
I understand how they all felt, but I just wanted to give them another other viewpoint on things to try to try and hope that they would understand a little bit about how shit's been working right now. The company went through being sold and purchased earlier this year. They had to go through some downsizing due to that and everything like that. They've had some devs leave to go off to better opportunities for themselves.
Yeah,
and everything. So it's not like I'm not saying the company's limping along, but with any company that gets sold and bought, the purchasing entity is going to tell them, okay, you guys need to streamline this because we want to earn they want to earn their money back for buying it as quickly as possible, and they usually ends up resulting in downsizing without them losing profit off of their release schedule.
Yeah. Right? And I think the thing is about the other podcasts is 90% of the guys which are on there are cool guys, and you know exactly why I'm saying 90%. I like Godman, I like Trick Daisy. Trick's awesome actually. I speak to him quite a lot on Twitter and when he comes onto the server. There was obviously points in it where it was a bit like somebody was just trying to get something over on you, which I didn't agree with. I'm not going to say who. They already know if they're watching, but I think it's good sometimes to get that sort of mutual feeling, because I think the way that it was seen as if like we were the goody guys and we were the guys that wouldn't speak bad about anything, and they were the people who were sort of actually standing up for what the community had to say. And I think it was good to get that sort of mutual bond between both parties, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that guy, sent apart. Because I even joked, at the beginning of it, Godman was sitting there, he was introducing everybody was going on. It was on there, he introduced, Titanium Shark. Anybody who knows me or knows Titanium Shark knows there's history there. Anybody, he introduced Black Gems. Anybody who's on USPS knows there's some, there's a little bit of history there. Between me and him, he introduced Melevant, who I've never really had any personal interactions with him. Outside of this is the first time I ever really dealt with him, individually. But I've stated my opinion of him in the past and everything.
Yeah.
So and he's obviously stated his opinion of me. The majority of the people that were on there, and Godman, me and Godman have gone back and forth before. So, it's like I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to all these names being listed off as who he's introducing. And I was like, shit.
Yeah, you said, didn't you? You invited all your best friends.
I was like, man, I just walked into an alley and I'm about to get up.
When he listed all the guys, it was like he listed all the guys he had problems with. Oh,
yeah. It was like
guys.
The way I imagined it was like walking into just like a corner of a dark alley, and they're all stood there pounding their fists, and you're there. And they're like, "Oh shit!"
I did the only thing I could, was I didn't want the mood to be adversarial at all with any of those guys. I wanted to have a conversation with them all. Yeah, I wanted to be able to sit there and have a conversation with them all. So I was like, once he got done introducing everybody and then he introduced me, I was like, man, you just invited all my fans.
Yeah.
I was like,
the thing is as well, it's like all the guys which are on there, I've got a respect for them all, and I do like them all as well. Sometimes the way things are put across, it's not how I would do it. And the thing is you're not going to be friends with everybody, and you're not going to not everybody's going to agree with what you've got to say. but as long as you respect each other, even if you don't agree with that person, it's fine, sort of thing. And I think that's a big thing that came from you being on there, is there was a lot of respect for you going on there, because you could have quite easily have just been like, fuck that, I am not going on that. Fuck that shit. So I mean, I've got to take my hat off to you as well.
You stepped in the lion's cage, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you walked out with a whip in one hand and the chair in the other. You fucking take it.
Yeah, as you know, hey Brittany, how you doing?
Brittany.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the purpose of me going with her, because I mean, I know, all those guys, everything those guys, the points those guys have always made about things they want changed in the game, things they want better, things they want different, things they want to come back, especially when it all comes down to PvP. I've agreed with like 95% of everything those guys want back or want to see again, or changes they've wanted. It's always just been the way that they were putting it across. Yeah. Everything. Obviously, I told those guys, I understand your frustration. I really do. And I'm not going to say any of those guys, aren't mature, because all those guys are grown men. They're all adults and everything like that. But I mean, you've got to apply a little bit. You've got to apply some maturity and all that, especially if you're doing it in a public setting and you're trying to gain a positive following for what you're going after, because. It's like I kept telling those guys, it's not the message, it's the way you're delivering it. If you want somebody to read your message, you write it down, you put it in an envelope, you put a stamp on it, put it in the mailbox, and when it's delivered to them, they will read it.
It's like I remember them saying in the cast as well, when you said that to them, I can remember someone said something along the lines of, "Oh, well, you want us to suck up then? You want us to be like, oh, hi, Meps, you're the best." But that's not what it's all about, is it?
The equivalent of what these guys have been doing is they've been writing down what they've got to say and all that. Then they've been taking that message, they've been taping it to a brick, and they've been chucking it through their front window.
That is an amazing way to explain it.
That's the equivalent of what they've been saying. Is somebody was tape a letter up, even if they had even if it had extremely good points that I agree with everything on in there. If they were to tape that up and tape that up to a brick and throw it through my front window, I'm not going to read the freaking note. I'm going to call the cops. That, or I'm grabbing my gun and I'm going out my front yard looking for the little bastards. I'm not going to sit there and wonder about what's this. Oh man, this guy's got some very interesting, very valid points he's making here. No, fuck this guy.
My fucking window! My window! It's like, oh, right, there's actually some good points. I'm not actually that mad about the window anymore. It's like, oh, what's that? It's like on Anchorman, isn't it? It's like...
So you ate the whole block of cheese? I'm not even mad. That's impressive. Yes, I mean that was the main thing. Like Brittany said, the main thing is, people can disagree with someone. It doesn't mean you have to like them, or it doesn't necessarily mean you have to not like them. I've disagreed with several people daily, but I mean later in the day we end up joking about other things. I was like, so I mean it's not like. Everybody has to agree. It doesn't mean you have to kiss up, and and that's where that one guy was like constantly trying to push that. I was trying to tell everybody, you have to kiss up to him, you have to suck up to him if you want to be heard. I was like, well, no, I mean, you just don't have to be an asshole.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. For some people, I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, frustration takes the best of all of us, but it's like sort of. How far does frustration take you to be able to actually have to act in the way and throw out the insults that I'm not saying any of them have on that podcast, but of what other people have in the past as well. It's just like how frustrated must you really be to have to take it to that level? Yeah.
I mean, I've shared that freaking frustration. Trust me.
Yeah.
There's been days where I'm like, they're not going to do anything with this. I mean, why? I mean, we're never going to see anything with this, because just the way things were, I'd be getting mad about or anything like that. I mean, so I understand what I understand where those guys, you and Balkan and Orbit, everybody, I understand where everybody's coming from. But I mean, I just know that, if I want to be heard, I can't, say, fix this shit, assholes. It's like,
Yeah.
you just can't do that, man. I mean, not if you want to be heard. I mean, nobody's going to listen to that after so long.
Yeah. On a positive spin, though, obviously a lot of the tension and the bad feelings has been coming from PvP. So we've had that news of the update coming to PvP. Let's hope that makes the community a much nicer place, because I think everybody agreed, no matter how you're feeling, how frustrated you are, how okay you are with the situation of what it's like at the moment, everybody has got that mutual agreement that PvP has been fucked. And hopefully this should sort out, because everyone knows as well that the community's been toxic because of it. So hopefully this just sort of irons out the creases in the community itself, and we can all start getting along a bit better, or having a bit more respect for each other as well.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is, I mean, if just tone down the rhetoric and the hyperbole and everything like that, and everybody, and let's all sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can go on a podcast with like 5 or 6 people that hate my guts, and have a conversation with those guys, I mean, I honestly feel, that there's, hope for the community. As I can not only just have a conversation with those guys, but walk away with, that entire podcast, having positive results with multiple people from what I've been reading in there. So,
things are on the up.
Yeah. And here we are less than a week later after that, and we've got a PvP update going. Yeah. So
exactly.
Let's keep that up. Keep up. I'm not saying like I said, so I'm not saying be happy that we got to wait still. I'm not saying be happy about it. I'm not saying roll over, and roll over and just just take it or anything like that. I'm just saying, you just, give them your feedback. Give them your feedback. If you don't like something the way it is, ask them if that's the way it's supposed to be, or tell them you don't want it that way.
Yeah.
See if other people agree with you.
The main thing for me about what frustrated me the most about everything that was going on was the sort of lack of information. And for them to come out just smack bang out of the blue and just be like, here is a big post on PvP, what we're looking to do in the future, what is going to be happening. It's going on to test straight away. I reckon that has worked wonders for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like the feedback from that, the positive feedback from that, the excitement and everything has been just like through the roof.
Yeah.
From what I was reading, I haven't caught up with it today yet, but from what I was reading yesterday, everybody's just like super hyped. I mean, obviously people are in there, they're asking questions and everything. I know when I think I was like the first one to get a video out about it.
Yeah.
And they hadn't updated the notes about the regular combos, about the non-weapon mastery combos, like flip slash and all that.
I seen that on forums as well, yeah.
Damage. People were in the comments on my videos, well, you forgot this. I was like, no, they didn't. They just forgot to add it to the notes. Those things have been toned down too. I was like, and the guy was like, it's like, all right, man, sorry, man. It's like, just, really hyped about this and all that. And I didn't see that in there and everything. I was like, dude, I completely understand. Like I said, I completely understand people being on edge.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, some people expect everything boom in one go, but you've just got to be patient with it, man. You just got to think, right, they sorted this out, that's all done now, perfect, on to the next thing. And
I mean, they update it every day or every 2-3 days on the server, so
yeah. And it really sort of like just shows if you've got a PC, you've got a bit of space, download DC on your PC. You don't need a membership, don't need to pay anything. Get yourself on that test server.
It doesn't need to be an Uber PC either. If you got a semi-decent PC or even a laptop,
yeah,
you can get the test client off the forums. off their site and download it. And you don't want to play with the if you're on console and all that, you don't want to play with using the keyboard and mouse and everything. PS4, if you take your recharging cable out, plug it into your computer with the PS4 controller and all that, just works instantly, no big deal.
Yeah.
If not, get yourself a nice cheap get an old 360 controller and all that. Those work just as well too.
Yeah, I mean,
PC
it was
on
only
the 360.
it was only like a week ago when I downloaded it on my laptop, and my laptop can be absolutely horrible. When I'm rendering a video, it's like I've got in my hands like coal, burning hot coal. That's how shit the processor is in my computer. And I downloaded DC, expected it to be laggy as fuck, and it runs so smoothly.
Yeah.
And then I was at the same. I thought like I cannot deal with a keyboard and mouse. Plug my PS4 controller in straight away, instant, no problem at all, nothing to change. Everything
Exactly.
works exactly the same. There is no difference. So if
Yeah,
you're
and they've got their in-game chat on PC fixed and everything like that. So you give yourself like basically the similar settings that you have on your console.
yeah,
And like with me, I just unplug my the USB from my Astro A40s. I just unplugged the USB from my Astro A40s from my mix amp from my PS4 and just plug it straight into my computer. Works just like that.
yeah, it's easy. It's so
Yeah.
easy, and there's no excuse for you not to try it. No excuse. But sweet, should we open it up to any questions in the chat?
Absolutely.
Any questions? Any questions? Get your questions. Balkan, I see that you're actually playing.
Yeah. Some people are more entertained. I see the viewer number is higher now.
So people are more entertained. The last time I looked, you were doing the seasonal event.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how people always say, hey, add some gameplay. Let's do it. I added some gameplay now.
So what are you doing at the moment? Looks like you're specking.
Yeah, I was specking. I do now.
That's fun to watch.
1v1s now. Layer battles. You see my nice base. Ooh, now I'm getting beasted. Oh shit.
What, are you actually are you fighting at the moment?
I'm gonna fight in a bit.
Oh, right. Yeah, the stream's a bit delayed for me. Any questions, guys? Balkan, shout out a good gadget loadout.
For PvE or PvP is the question.
PvP.
PvP. Oh, I use Distract, Turret, Cryofield, Gauss Grenade, Decoy, and Photon Blast.
Nice. There you go. Gadget loadout. Don't need to upload a video now.
Oh, I fucked up.
Are all three of you guys going to be testing PvP? Balkan
I will
already
be.
is.
I will be hitting it this weekend.
Yep.
No.
I'm sure on it. Oh, he wants a PvE loadout for gadgets. Balkan.
PvP? PvE. I use Distract, EMP, Stealth, or Battle Display, whatsoever. Depends on which situation you go. But if you are on Stealth, then you should put the Battle Display there. Definitely, don't forget that. The free PIs is Vortex Cannon, Gauss Grenade, and Cryo Foam. If that helps you.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Was the villain side on EUPS ever somewhat alive like on USPS? The villain side has always been very, very small compared to the
No,
hero
not
side.
on EU. No,
Yeah.
I've never even played on EU, and I know for a fact EU villain side used to be hopping.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Mate, honestly, it
you need to talk
wasn't.
to Orbit. You need to talk to Orbit then.
It
You need
wasn't.
to talk to Orbit.
Honestly, it
The
wasn't.
villain site was what?
He
Hopping?
thinks it was
Hopping
pussy.
on the EUPS.
What does that
I'm
mean?
not saying there used to be a lot of villains. on
No,
EUPS.
never. You know
No,
how long
come
before
on, man.
before the suicide thing squad came, the thing that you can fight against each other, you took 1 hour to queue in any PvP thingy because there was
I'm
not
talking
enough
about-
villains.
Yeah. I'm not saying that, but I remember seeing videos from people, or
I
talking
mean,
to
we
people.
had
And all that.
good villain players. If
Yeah,
you
we
mean
had
that,
good
Mass
villains.
Terror and that. I mean,
Yeah,
they were my favorites. If they return, that would be epic. But yeah,
they were easily top 3 best PvP leagues. But Balkan's right. Before the Suicide Squad came in, whatever it was, I can't remember, cross faction. I can't get the words out. But basically, yeah, you would be, if you're on the hero side, you would be queuing up, waiting for ages.
Oh yeah, it was the same way on US.
But but yeah, and I would still say I probably say it as well. Like probably a bad impact on that, or made it worse, is probably Orbit with his YouTube. Everyone knew he was EUPS. Everyone knew he was a hero. So people probably would more drawn to come over to the hero side than they were on the villains. But yeah, I would say no, not as good. But obviously Patriot disagrees.
Well, I just remember, before what you guys are talking about. I mean, I know before mega servers, things were a little bigger. I know, especially before the freaking Sony hack.
Yeah.
The Sony hack.
I know Batman mask.
Both factions were huge.
Yeah.
Both factions were huge.
I mean, we had also on each server extra small servers, So this is how big it was. We had Fall Seasons, Crossfire, Absolute Power, Justice for All. That were our 4 EUPS servers.
No Man's Land. No Man's Land.
That's such a sick name, isn't it?
That was the best server.
Yeah, that's
the best server.
Yeah, I came from a PvE server.
Would you like to see some content to do with the join then? I don't know what that means.
I think he's talking about crossplay.
Oh, crossplay.
It'd be cool if they did some kind of I don't know about actual content, but some kind of storyline, something to go along with the storyline.
Yeah.
With a piece of the content where it's kind of like a Crisis on Infinite Earths type thing. Where now we've got these two worlds merging together.
Yeah.
And that would be cool.
I'd like to see sort of like an attack on like the Watchtower, an attack on the Hall of Doom, and where the heroes and villains sort of like fight together to sort of save both of it. I know it sounds like sort of like an end game sort of mission, but that would be something sweet. I'd like to wander into the Hall of Doom in PvE once more. That'd be good. What about the cross-world merge?
Crossplay. I know they've been, slowly introducing components of it.
Mm-hmm.
They've said that. That's why the last downtime for the downtime last week for this update and DLC took longer than they expected. It was because of some of the things that they were doing for crossplay along with it. So they've been slowly implementing stuff on there. Exactly when it's going to happen, I have no idea. I honestly have no freaking idea.
Yeah.
Shut up, Vulcan.
I have no idea what it's going to be. On Monday, here comes a video.
He knows already. This is coming on March 2016 and stuff, but he's saying
I'm gonna be like Orbit. I'm gonna be like Orbit. Tell you guys about something, and I already have a video. It's live right now. I just released it.
Yeah.
During the podcast, and not even talk about what's in my video.
Oh, this is a nice question. What was your favorite year of DCUO and why?
Oh man,
the first year, I guess. Why? The reason I would pick the first year, population was bigger. It felt better. I don't know, before replay badges and that come. Of course, replay badges came also in the first year, yeah. But I like the first half year, before the SOE hack. That was excitement, gear grinding. My opinion,
I loved when the worlds merged together, and just how busy it went from being like basically nothing, and we all used to like on on Absolute Power, we used to just hang out in front of the Superman gear, and then as soon as like the merge came, it was like, wow, all these people just come out of nowhere, and we ended up like merging about 4 leagues into one league, Full Metal Heroes, and it was just epic. It was like 30, 40 people, regular players on in a night, and it was such a fun time. Everyone got on with everyone. It was like one of those sort of leagues where nobody would leave, and everybody would stay together. When that merge happened, that was awesome.
I don't know, man. I've got a couple. I mean, I've got a lot of favorite moments and highlights of years and everything.
Yeah.
Mega servers and all that was epic. I mean, our Fight Club was never, slow.
Yeah.
For us on the No Man's Land server. But man, when that Mega servers hit, dude, I mean, there was people, like that, from other PvP servers that, as soon as they, like spawned in, it was like the ultimate stare down. Across the street at people, the whole time. And a lot of people, Mega servers, they wanted to see me fight this one guy from the Killing Joke server. His name was Chroma.
Yeah.
And I've actually got it was like a best of, I think we did like 8 1v1s and everything like that, kind of all recording and everything. But at the time, you said the damn queues were so slow for the hero side, and I got tired of everybody just hanging out at Fight Club the whole time, doing 1v1. So I was like, I'm not freaking doing it anymore. Nope. Yeah. You want to fight me? Queue up. It's like, and that was back before dueling and everything too. So you could only fight villains. I was like, all you villains, you want to fight me? Queue up. I'll be doing the moon, but yeah, it was pretty cool for Mega servers was really cool. That was 2011, 2012. It was all right year.
It was all right. What would you say? Let's not think about like game changes. What would you say that your favorite moment personally of what you've done during your DCUO career, we'll say it that way, what would be your favorite moment and the moment where you thought, yeah, that was pretty fucking epic? So don't think about changes, don't think about like, when Jules come in.
Yeah.
What would you personally say that was my highlight of playing DC?
I would have to say one of my highlights playing DC was when Origin Crisis first dropped.
Yeah.
And I was one of the first fire tanks to be able to solo tank Nexus.
Nice, man. Nice. I would say mine. I'm gonna big myself up here. When I went on Friday Night Legends, that was like a big moment for me because I went from being a pretty unknown guy to obviously being like representing on the EU, and it was Full Metal Heroes versus Team Awesome, and we. Obviously, Full Metal Heroes was not the top PvP league. Team Awesome they were the boys sort of thing. We'd be scrimming them or sync queuing for weeks before we were going to go on there, and we were getting pasted, absolutely pasted. And then when it came to Friday Night Legends, Meps was like, oh yeah, obviously at that time as well, it was all about Five's Watchtower all day. And then Meps was like, oh yeah, we're going to do Five's Ace Chem. And we were like, what? No, we're not doing that, no. And then he let us do Watchtower. And oh my God, we won it. And we won it convincingly. And we were absolutely buzzing until like, bear in mind, Friday Night Legends for us was like over at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We were so buzzing. We were up to like 4 o'clock in the morning. Just sat there, smug mode in the Watchtower, like, yes, we did it. We did it. What about you, Balkan? Would you say your individual proudest or best moment on DC?
Oh, that is a tough question. I mean, the proudest... I don't know, man. What have I really done in the game that I could be really proud of? Let me think about it a bit more. before.
All right. Go on to the next question.
Going to next question, I try to think fast.
Gods, why the switch to quantum? Very easy answer to that, mate. PvP. PvP was broke. I was only hard.
I have it.
Okay, go on then.
It was, well, that was at the moment the proudest moment. That was when I was in Team Os and we beat round 7 of survival mode before they actually nerfed it, the first survival mode. But yeah, later we got over. Yeah, select few beat that, but yeah, we was really proud of it before because no one actually beat that SM because I think Amon Sur was kinda too OP at all, but we still made it. And we was the first back then that beat round 7 and I was like proud, we was so excited. I think that was, I was streaming, even Maps came here, gave us an ugly firework trinket, but you know, I'm still happy I have it. But yeah, that was, I think, my proudest moment where I really was proud. If I think now, I'm not more proud of it because people already beat it, it's not more special. But at that moment, I felt really proud.
There's 2 comments that I've got to point out here. First one is Balkan's greatest moment is when he glitched.
When I got banned, you mean? When I got banned.
When he got banned. And the second one, I don't know why you're laughing, Patriot, because it's beating Super Patriot in a 1v1. Lol.
See, I can also laugh like you, man. That was actually fun, you know. I mean, I was gonna think, Patriot, you know, a well-known guy. Nimbus beasted. I was like, Orbit beasted him. Now my turn. He logged off, rage quit. Okay, Patriot was so nice, still respect you for that. He was like, come on, Balkan, let's do it too. And then that was the first time beating a rage guy. I didn't know you can block constructs and stuff. And I smashed him. He tried to fly and block break me. Nah, man. Nah, man. I come sit down, man. And that was the moment. It was fun, man. It was fun. I mean, it was a friendly duel. I mean... Yeah. That was a cool memories, I will say. They were good memories. I mean, I would like if DC would do something like that, you know, let's say do tournaments again like FNL, but kinda a way how we can fight on all 4 servers against just for the FNL, and then again we get kinda out of it, you know. Just because so many people have big mouth against each other. Yeah, this server is better than that and that. I would like, you know, to see a tournament, like in Dragon Ball Z, you know, and at the end the top 2 guys fight whatsoever, you know, like with the rank list.
Back in the day, can you remember the EU and US were better than you? EU PS and US PS. There was like a genuine rivalry between the 2 servers. Can you remember that, Patriot?
I really don't remember that.
Don't you?
I mean,
he don't remember it because he knows what he remembers. He remembers.
No, I mean because seriously, I mean you think about it. I mean there were several people that, you know, were doing like videos and stuff on the US side, and then you guys had Smile. So
don't affiliate us too much.
Don't talk about Voldemort, please.
I'm not. But I mean. You know, I mean, even you guys didn't like Smile, so I mean, there wasn't.
I mean, all being said, like when Smile played DC, like I didn't like him at all. It was obvious I didn't like him. I wouldn't hide from it. But to be fair, since he's moved on from DC, I've got to respect him a lot for what he's done with Destiny. He's gone on a.
Oh yeah, I've got no ill towards the guy. I mean, guy, I still to this day feel like, you know, the guy got famous off of my name though, on DC at least.
Oh, I think he got famous off a lot of people's name. Orbit. So moving on.
No, seriously, if you search my
do you really have to talk about Voldemort?
Voldemort.
I'm just saying, if you search my YouTube channel name on YouTube, all right, search it, all right, you're gonna find about 4 videos from Smile from like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
On there still.
Yeah. Keep them up there. Anyway, finishing off the question for me about Quantum. Yeah, I switched to Quantum because I was only really hard light for PvP, and being hard light in PvE was just depressing. So whilst PvP was basically not there for me. I just went to Quantum because I enjoy the trolling and the PvE DPS side of things. But I probably, you heard it here first, will go back to Hardlight now. So let's see how it goes with PvP in the update. Right, should we answer one or two more questions and then call it a night?
Sure. 2 more questions.
Yeah, cool. Balkan, did you ever 1v1 Smile? If yes, who won?
Honestly, I was never fighting, never in an arena or somewhere. It just never happened that I met this guy. Honestly, I mean, I can now say, I mean, honestly, I hated this guy back then. Today, I have no feeling. I have just nothing with them. I mean, if he comes back, cool. If he not, it's cool. I don't care. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I was never fighting him. I mean, that was the time, you know, where I wanted to fight him, but it never actually happened. That was, and then at the end, you know, when you dislike someone, you know, then you don't want to play with him and all. Or I mean, back then, PvP, if you lose a fight, then, you know, it's a lot of shit you get on. If you win a fight, of course, you get good things. And I know this guy, if I would lose to him, I will get hell shit like Nimbus. I will be the Nimbus of EU if I will lose against him.
Yeah,
honestly, if I would win against him, it will be okay, great. But I know one thing for a fact: I will get so much hate for it. All these guys will be on me, and they will find excuses and everything. If you ask me now today, if I will beat him, I think yeah, of course, because he don't play the game, so he needs to get used to. But honestly, even back then, I think I would win. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. He could smash me, but I think, nah, man, I know I'm good in PvE and PvP. Back then, I will just spam Photon Blast on him, and that's it, man. I mean, you know, people know me. Balkan, you white mode Photon Blast. I make that shit famous on YouTube if you watch my PvP videos. Block break, one-handed, loaded, skip it. Half have lost, Photon Blast, next.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I was never fighting. To answer your question, no, I was never fighting against him. I think it will also not happen because he stopped playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was not a bad fire tank, but honestly, fire was always kinda OP in PvP. So if I see now fire tanks with rifles, I don't call them guys skilled. I know why they are fire tanks and rifle. Why they are not playing ever any other power in PvP?
Yeah.
Answer me that question.
See, as for that, that was one of the things for me too back then. You know, back then, even now, or while I was fire, you know, as everybody said, "Oh, you're a fire tank, anyways." Blah blah blah. I was like, dude, I always 1v1.
It is cheesy.
In DPS.
It is cheesy.
I always 1v1 in DPS stance.
Yeah.
You know, I've always 1v1, not always, but ever since, like, you know, we established, like, you know, some you know, core rules for Fight Club back in the day. You know, so, you know, people started realizing, oh man, you know, fire tanks and, you know, ice tanks are really ridiculous. You know, it takes forever to kill them. You know, it's like, get that shit out of here. So, oh, you're a healer? Fuck you, go DPS. You know, I was like, yeah, it was like, you know, it got to be one of those things, you know, where it was just decided that, you know, 1v1s would be, you know, DPS stance, no pets, no supercharges, no sodas.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, those were the 4 basic rules of, you know, 1v1s at fight clubs. You know, and I've even done a couple of videos about this, talking about honor duels and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people just, you know, don't want to, you know, see it that way, which is why, you know, whenever I'd go up against a tank, you know, I had no, you know, even as a fellow, you know, tank power, I had no problem whatsoever hitting them with a freaking tank debuff. You know? I was like, I had no problem with that whatsoever.
Sorry, I've got to interrupt. Balkan, I've just noticed you're fighting Blackpack. Don't record him. I've seen that record button just got uploaded. He's a really nice guy.
I want that.
Don't upload him. He's a really nice guy. He loves you. Right. Let's go for 2 more questions. One quick question.
That was one of 2 we just answered. So one more question.
Right. One more question then.
You keep going. 2 more questions. We'll be here all night.
Right. One more question then. Do you think they'll ever combine US and EU servers to make one godlike server?
I don't know.
I would love that to happen.
That would be awesome.
Well,
I ain't gonna lie.
Again?
I would, when sort of like the server merge came out, like what was obviously all suggested. I think a lot of people were disappointed when they heard like PC and PS were being combined from the same region. Like I would 10 times prefer PvP wise to be combined with the US PS than the EU PC. No disrespect to the EU PC guys, but I think PvP is more predominant on the PS service.
It is 100%. You can just face it. I mean, honestly, I don't want to talk again shit about the PC players. I don't want to. But when I was PvPing on the PC back then, when Vengeance win, I'm on PC test from 30 matches against also test from 30 matches against also PC players from US and EU. I didn't lost. I don't lose. This is because, I mean, I just see how the PC players play. They are good. Okay, I'm not saying they're shit. It is just the population is of course higher on the PlayStation. So of course we are chatting with each other more, communicate than the PC players because we are first more players. And we know already the best loader, what is best, what is good to do and stuff. For example, I mean, when I fight them, I see some of them don't block or block break perfectly all the time, or just miss it, or just go straight advanced mechanic. I mean, it is also the reason is why is that so because PvP is not that popular on the PC because there are not many active players. So of course, for one reason, they can't be counted as the best players. I know they are good players. I don't want to say they are shit or something. No, they're good players. I just say that's why we PS players are better because of the population. We are actually, when you queue up, couple minutes you have a match over and over, and from every match we came out stronger, better, you know what I mean. And it is a slower process, I think, on the PC than we have on PlayStation, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Because we can get games easier. We're probably more experienced, and we got a more of a natural thing with PvP. But
no, it's not just that either. I mean, I've been told by several PC players that the community for PvP on PC is like can be even worse than it is on console sometimes. At least what we're experiencing and everything. Just with the way that people treat others whenever they beat them in a match or anything like that. I just and the problem with that is that PC. To PC players are typically they are more of a mature, group of players. So because console, it's more accessible to kids. You know what I'm saying?
I think kids can be even legendary on PC, really, right? So easy, like we can get PSN card. That's it.
Actually, it's easier to get freaking a lot of stuff on PC than it is for us on console because everything's got to go through PSN.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when I wanted back then to be a legendary member, when it was SOE, I need to give my credit card or something number to get the membership or stuff.
Yeah, I know that's been an issue because they changed their policy on using Daybreak Cash to pay for your subscriptions.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Right.
But
sweet.
Yeah.
We talked a lot.
Yes, we did.
We did. Didn't even need Orbit. Don't even need him. He's not even going to be on the next one.
Next week, the episode is going to be streamed on my channel, guys. Joke.
Yeah. No, do you know what I reckon we should do next week? I reckon all three of us should be like, no, sorry, mate, can't make it. You're going to have to do it on your own. And it can just be the People's Podcast just with him on his own. See how he gets on then.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, any questions?
Sit there the whole time. He's like, where the hell are these guys at?
Yeah. He's like, he's like, so who watched the stream then? Silence.
I think he will invite just 2, 3 random peoples who no one knows just from the, hey, please, I need you on Skype, man. I need someone to talk to for the cast. Please, please.
Give me your best Balkan accent, please. And I'm doing a Balkan.
Yeah, I'm streaming, you know, guys, as you see my character, I'm streaming on his channel, so yeah, I'm doing a lot here. I'm wasting my upload speed for his stream. I have get nothing from it. No more subscribers, no more viewers or followers. He gets it, so, and I'm not even getting a thank you from him. But yeah, guys, that's basically it.
we're not sour at all about him not
But
being
yeah,
here.
he's not bitter about it one bit. You know what I'm waiting for? You know what I'm waiting for this whole time. This whole time, Orb's been listening to the show, and I'm just waiting for this.
Yeah. God's next week, Cryocast returns. Patriot is our new co-host.
Just wait for Orbit to just bust in.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should do that.
Right. Okay then, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Important things covered. PvP update. Game episode 20. Good stuff to come. Exciting time to come. Be patient with PvP and get onto the test server and try it out and give some feedback about it.
Yes, test server is available for everybody. I mean, you don't have to be a subscriber to the game to get on tests. Anybody can get onto it. So get on there, test PvP.
The only thing you need is a Daybreak account, which you can get for free. It is absolutely free.
It took me about 5 minutes to set one up, so no problem at all. No stress at all with it. So do it. Do it! Do it now!
Alright, folks. Thanks for coming by and watching. Y'all take care.
Take care. Good night.
See ya and have fun. Subscribe to Balkan.